This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hey guys, I'm Eric.
I'm Grace. We're the Wandering Ravens.
We're a couple of Americans with a deep fascination for all things British, and in honor of the 4th of July, we thought we would dive into a topic which we've intentionally avoided discussing on this channel, and we've also intentionally avoided learning about this.
You guessed it, today we're going to be discussing and reacting to the British royal family.
And it's really appropriate that we're talking about the royal family today because we are actually in Boston right now, just a couple miles down the road from where the Boston Tea Party and the Boston Massacre and all those great events kicked off. And it's also the middle of a heat wave, so don't mind us. We're just gonna be drinking drinking some apple cider while we react to the royal family. This is actually from Harvard here in Cambridge.
It's very intelligent cider.
But before we begin reacting to videos about the British royal family, we thought we would take this opportunity to try to describe the royal family.
Explain it?
Explain the royal family. Let's see where we are on our royal family knowledge, and then we'll learn actual facts about the royal family. What do you know about the British royal family?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is that Prince Andrew does not sweat. We all know that.
Yes.
That is a fact of life.
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time. Oh, actually, yes. I didn't sweat at the time.
It's one of those common symptoms of PTSD. But seriously, growing up, we really didn't learn that much about the royal family.
There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England.
Only thing I knew was there was a queen.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I didn't really know anything else.
I knew the queen had one child, obviously. The child who would succeed her. That was all though.
I think I knew she liked corgis.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I was an adult.
That was my one fun fact about the royal family. I didn't know any of the names. I didn't even know her name. I thought it was just the queen.
The queen?
The queen.
I remember the first time I did hear someone say Queen Elizabeth II, I was like, wait, is that the current queen?
Yeah, which queen is that?
Which queen is
that?
that?
An old queen?
Is that now queen? Now queenie?
What are the queen's powers?
I got no idea. Maybe she owns all the corgis in the UK? I don't know what her powers are.
All I know is the queen's power is that she can move in any direction. Yeah, forward, back, side to side, diagonal.
Diagonal, especially.
Diagonal, yeah.
Use that one, queenie.
That's very useful. She uses this power to move in any direction to secure her immortality. Because every time death comes at her, she just slides out of there.
Should we be afraid of the queen?
Yeah, does she actually do anything? Or is she just there to like ribbon cutting?
Ribbon cutting.
Yeah, it's very ceremonial. She's more of just a mascot.
A figurehead.
For the UK.
She's the British mascot.
So we don't know what the queen's powers are, but we're going to be reacting to a video that tells us what they are in just a moment. But next quiz question, who are the queen's children?
I know this. I know this. Charles. Is Anne the next one, or is it Andrew?
So. No, it's Anne.
Okay, Anne, Andrew, notable because he doesn't sweat. And then Edward, the one that everyone forgets about.
Next quiz question. Who's next in line to the throne? Obviously it's Charles, and then it's Will's.
Gran, that's 2 glasses of sherry in one afternoon.
And then it's William's son, whose name I don't know. Oliver?
No, you just went with the most common name in the UK. Try again.
Travis?
What's the Queen's father's name?
Wow, you know more than me. I don't know.
I think it's Prince George.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's Prince George.
George, okay, so then Georgie, and then baby girl, I don't know her name either, but she would be the next one. Do they have a third? Oh my God. I think they have a third.
Hold my beer. It is Charles, of course. After Charles, it would be William, Prince George,
Totally
Princess
wrong.
Charlotte. After Charlotte, perhaps Prince Louis. I think it's Louis.
Louis.
Is the next one. French, I know, I like it.
Wow.
After him, it would jump up to Harry. After Harry, would it go to their child though? Would Archie be next?
I think Archie's next.
But he didn't get any title, did he, when he was born?
No, and it's not our decision to make.
And then they just had a little girl whose name I do not know how to pronounce. After that, I suppose it'd be Princess Anne. After that, it all gets a little fuzzy. I don't know.
Next question, what is the Queen's last name?
I think of England is her last name.
Of England.
I would assume it's Windsor. But I don't think that maybe she has a legal last name, because I don't think the princes have legal last names, do they?
We're gonna learn the answers to all of these in just a minute, but if you wanna go ahead and answer these questions in the comments, do that so that we can see if you're right. Next quiz question though, before we start reacting to the videos, how does the royal family make money?
I got no idea.
Yeah, this is one that kind of stumped me because they don't work. I mean, they cut ribbons and they
That's
do
really hard work.
They do their ways.
See, it's all exercising your dominant hand.
I would assume they get paid via taxes.
I guess tourism? People visit Buckingham Palace and they visit Kensington Palace. Oh my god, why does she have so many homes?
So many homes. And then there's the one up in Scotland that she likes to go to.
Ballymore.
Ballymore? Yeah, Ballymore Castle. Okay, well, now that our ignorance on the topic has been revealed, we're going to dive into a couple of YouTube videos that you guys have sent us and learn about the royal family through these. The first video we're going to be reacting to is from the channel Today I Found Out, and it's called What Powers Does the Queen of England actually have?
So the Queen is totally immune from prosecution and is considered above the law in the UK. And further, as a head of state, she also enjoys diplomatic immunity in any foreign country she happens to visit. As such, she could commit any crime conceivable anywhere on Earth, at least as the law currently stands, and suffer no legal consequences for doing so.
Her being above the law in the UK, that's problematic enough. But her being able to commit any crime anywhere in the world, I mean, she could literally assassinate heads of states of other countries and not be held accountable for that.
That's probably one of those things though where she enjoys knowing that she has her power, but she would never actually do anything, because the minute she did, then the British people would just be like, guess we don't have a queen anymore. What about crimes that are less severe? Financial crimes or things like this, and it would just be fine.
Because technically speaking, the people of Britain are not citizens but subjects of the monarch, she could have anyone she wanted arrested and presumably seize their property or lands for the crown.
For the crown.
Speaking of which, the Queen owns all of the seabeds around the UK and can commandeer any ship found in British waters for service to the realm.
What would service to the realm include? Like, imagine I'm just out there in my canoe and then just like all of a sudden, like, you've been seized for service to the realm. Like, what do I do with the rest of my life? What does that include?
The Queen could decimate the British political landscape by dissolving Parliament and appointing anyone she felt like as Prime Minister.
Wow.
This is because it's the Queen's duty to appoint the Prime Minister, and she could, in theory, appoint anyone she wanted to the position, regardless of the way the British public voted in an election.
She appoints herself as Prime Minister and herself as Parliament.
Yeah, could she appoint herself?
She has all this power, but she's not actually going to use any of it. But it's still weird to think that she has, technically, has all this power.
The Queen is very powerful.
She can do a lot more than just move any direction. But this didn't really get into what the Queen actually does.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, this still leaves the question, like, theoretically, hypothetically, I don't know. She could do many, many things, but what does she actually do?
Yeah, what is her actual role? If you know the answer to that, do let us know down in the comments. Next up, we're going to be watching a video about the line of succession to see if we got it correct about who's going to be king, queen next. And this video comes from the channel Useful Charts.
Charles is first in line, so he's still number 1. And his firstborn son, William, is number 2. After William comes his 3 children, George, Charlotte, and Louis.
So Charlotte is
Prince
in
Harry, number 6. Which leads me to the second major point that I'd like to make. Prince Harry and his son Archie are still in the line of succession.
Okay.
The fact that he and Meghan are no longer working members of the royal family does not change this fact.
That's kind of surprising. I was wondering about that because they're no longer working members of the royal family. I was like, does that exclude them from being still in the line of succession? But apparently not.
No, and it's not our decision to make.
The same is actually true for Prince Andrew. Even if Prince Andrew were to be stripped of all his titles and to be put in prison, he'd still be in the line of succession, whether we like it or not.
Ooh.
Really?
You see, the
That's
line
weird.
of succession has nothing to do with titles or with popularity. It's strictly about birth order. So it always proceeds down first, from firstborn to firstborn, and then whenever the line ends, it goes sideways to siblings, and then back up to the previous generation.
If everyone died in some freak accident and Andrew was in prison, does that mean Andrew, if he was next in line, if he suddenly went from position 9 to position 1, would he get just automatically out of prison and become king?
Or would that be the sort of thing where that's like, it's like a hypothetically, yes, he would get out of prison and be king, but in practicality, like nobody would let that happen.
Me being your elder brother and you thinking about tying the old knot. It's about time we had a little chat about the birds and the bees.
There we are.
What are they exactly?
But under the new system, it doesn't matter if a person is male or female, it just goes according to birth order. However, this new rule only applies to people born after the year 2011. So it applies to this generation, but not to previous generations. For example, the birth order of Queen Elizabeth's children is Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. But because they were all born under the previous system, the two younger brothers retained their positions ahead of their older sister, Anne.
I wonder why that doesn't apply retroactively.
Yeah, why they're not just like, we recognize that this was not a good system. If I was Anne, I would resent my two younger brothers a little bit.
That makes sense. It was also interesting to hear about how the line of succession is blood-based only. So even if you're a criminal, you're still in.
Weirdly, it's like not by choice on any end, which is kind of strange.
This is really fun. I'm enjoying learning about the British monarchy. Finally. And speaking of learning, we are really excited to introduce you to today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to better their lives through high quality and inspiring classes on a huge variety of topics, including illustration, graphic design, music, entrepreneurship, animation, web development, arts and crafts, and much more.
Classes are easy to follow and are split into bite-sized chunks that are ideal for learning on the go and busy people who are already working or in school. Whether you are a beginner or a pro, you will be able to hone your abilities and continue growing on Skillshare.
One practical example from our own lives. As freelance writers and video creators who work from our laptops and travel, maintaining productivity is crucial for us. This is a challenge since we're having to constantly adjust to new cities, time zones, and cultures, while still hitting our work and YouTube goals. Skillshare has actually helped us a lot in this area, with classes like Kevin Siskar's Productivity Today class about managing attention in the digital age, helping us develop healthy habits that keep us on track and minimize distractions.
One big takeaway that I had from Kevin's class was to always have a notepad next to me where I can brain dump all of those little distractions that pop up while working. So instead of remembering, oh shoot, I need to text Mercy back, and then interrupting my work to do that, now I can write down these to-dos on my notepad so that I don't forget them and can do them after work, thus saving my productivity.
So whether you're a butcher, a baker, or a candlestick trader, Skillshare has something for you. And to help you get started, the first 1,000 subscribers that click the link in our description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare.
So click the link to join and start exploring your creativity today.
Finally, we're going to be watching a video from Vox that you guys have sent us, and it is called How the Royals Make Money.
Taxes?
Tourism dollars?
I think tourism dollars would be my main bet.
This is Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where the Queen spends her summers. This is Savoy Chapel, nestled between buildings in central London. And this is Windsor Castle, just outside of London, where the Queen often hosts foreign leaders. Each one of these 3 properties represents a different way the royal family makes their fortune. The first is one of 2 that falls in the Queen's private wealth, which means if she were to leave the throne, it would still be hers. The other set of properties that contribute to their private wealth are the duchies.
Am I saying that right? Duchies?
Duchies, that's right. There is something called the Duchy of Lancaster. This is an old estate, ancestral estate dating back from the 14th century. It's now a portfolio of property, and it provides a private income for the Queen.
There's also the Duchy of Cornwall, 130,000 acres of property that includes castles, holiday cottages, and a cricket stadium in London.
What happens in the Duchy of Cornwall stays in the Duchy of Cornwall.
In 2019, they each made just over £20 million for the royal family. The income from the Duchy of Cornwall goes to the heir to the throne, Prince Charles. About £5 million of that went to his sons, William and Harry.
I'm just a prince who's had everything on a plate. Sooner or later, she's going to realize I do literally nothing.
And the income from the Duchy of Lancaster goes to the Queen.
Now, the royal family is all about image. They don't actually have that much formal power. What they do have, is a brand. They've been called one of the most valuable brands in Britain.
But a big part of maintaining that brand is to not exploit it.
If you're a working royal, you're not really allowed to have a private source of income. You're not allowed to cash in.
So they're not allowed to use their titles to create their own brand, like a fashion line or something. That's the Duchess of Sussex fashion line or something like
Probably
that.
what Harry and Meghan are doing with aren't they making a Netflix show or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah, but that might be frowned on then.
That would all be. Or I guess what Fergie did.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was always trying to cash in on that.
Always trying to cash in on it, yeah.
The best guess of the net worth of the Queen, the richest royal family member, is about £370 million.
That's actually not
That's obviously very rich, but it puts her nowhere near the richest people in the world. The illusion of the royal family's wealth is greater than their actual wealth because of the third way they make money. These properties are part of what's called the Crown Estate. The Crown Estate includes iconic landmarks like Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace, and the Tower of London. It also includes commercial real estate in London and lots of land, including...
Also, is it just triggering me, or does this map of the UK include all of Ireland?
This group is worth billions of pounds, but it doesn't actually figure into the Queen's wealth. And the reason behind that can be traced back to a time the royals really needed money.
In the 18th century, you had a long list of German kings, the Georges 1 to 4. And they wasted a lot of money, and they were terrible with money, and they got into lots of trouble with the government. And in the end, one of the Georges, George III, said, I'm broke. I'll give you all my crown lands. These were the personal land owned by the king. And in return, you give me a set amount of money.
So they gave up ownership of all these lands in exchange for taxpayer money that would pay for the royal family's lifestyle. This part of their income today is called the sovereign grant. Between 2018 and 2019, that amounted to about £80 million.
So there's our answer. The British monarchy makes their money through inheritance, duchies, and the crown estate or taxes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they have multiple streams of income.
That's good.
I approve.
Diversify.
Yeah, diversify your assets. I think that I am a bit confused as to why they take taxpayer money at all, given that they have other sources of income. So it just seems like a tiny bit excessive. I don't know, maybe they do really need that money to pay for security and other things, but it does confuse me a little. It seems like they probably would have enough given the other assets to where they wouldn't need taxpayer money, especially given that not everybody is in favor of the monarchy in the UK.
Yeah, I can see how the whole tax situation would be controversial.
Yeah.
Because they did say something about how it was an exchange, like the crown gave up their lands in exchange for the sovereign grant. So there was kind of like a trade. We'll get taxpayer money, but you guys get all of our land. But that happened so long ago.
Hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, same King George that we fought against here in the States. The 4th of July, by the way. Just keep mentioning that. So I can see how in a modern British person's mind, that can seem like a long time ago. And it's like, okay, why are we still paying for this? You can forget that there was a deal made. What do you guys think about that? Let us know down in the comments. If this video got anything wrong, do let us know that as well. And there we go. There we have it. That's us reacting to the British monarchy.
Yeah, do you feel educated?
I do feel like I learned a lot, especially about the line of succession.
Yes.
The Queen's powers. I knew nothing about that before.
There's so much there. I feel like this is just the surface, so if we should make a part 2 to this video, or if there's any more resources that can help us learn more about the British monarchy, we would be happy to see all of those.
And if you're a fan of the UK and you enjoy learning about British culture, make sure you hit subscribe for fresh, regular British culture content, and click the like button as well if you don't mind. That really helps our channel grow and helps YouTube promote this video around the internet.
Also, a huge thank you to our chuffed virtuosos, Danny Grint and Andrew McKendry.
We really appreciate you guys and couldn't make videos like this without you.
Until next time,
I'm Eric.
And I'm Grace.
We're the Wandering Ravens.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Cheers!